All right, okay. So chat, this is the story about how a homeless grandmother tried to invade my house. Okay, so we're gonna take this back. Last week, literally last week, I was in this room, like building this place. Like you can see like the tree, and you can see the walls. I put up a whole bunch of soundproofing all throughout the room. You guys can't see it right now. I'll show you later, but basically, I put in a whole bunch of soundproofing in this room, and to put it in, I had to like hammer it into the walls and do a whole bunch of design work. It looks really good, by the way. It looks fucking fantastic. But like, whatchamacallit, I was in here working alone, okay? And as I am hammering against the wall, all of a sudden I hear knock, 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 knock at my front door. I'm like, Nani? The fuck? Nobody ever comes here. Like, we're in a pretty small neighborhood. Like, nobody ever comes here, okay? So I'm like, okay, who the fuck's at my door? So I walk to the door and I open it up, and sitting at my door is like an 80, 90-year-old woman, okay? She's like maybe 5'4". She's like this tall. And I open the door and she's like, oh, Sonny, thank you so much for opening the door. Oh, I'm so cold. I've been walking for hours and I'm lost. Can I please come in? Please. And I'm like, hold up. Wait a minute. Who the fuck are you? In my mind, I'm just like, okay. Well, what? Like, I literally, like, I'm like, when I came to this door, I was very sus. Okay, I was very sus because nobody knocks around here, right? But she seemed like a sweet old lady, and I'm just like, okay, that's really strange. Why? Where are you walking from? You said you've been walking around for hours. Do you need help? Like, where's your home? Like, why are you coming here? Where's your home? And she's like, oh, I slipped and I fell and I hit my head and I don't remember where my home is. And I'm like, sus, very sus, but also most like in my mind, I'm like, there's one of two situations here. So she's either completely lying to me, absolutely completely lying to me, or she's like a dementia, Alzheimer's patient who got away from the nursing home. And now, like she doesn't know how to get home. Okay, so I'm weighing. She might be on drugs. We're gonna find out in a little bit if she's on drugs. But I'm weighing both situations. Like, okay, I take a look at her. She looks like a regular grandma. Okay, she's got a normal coat on. She's got a wedding ring on. She's got a nice watch on. She looks like just a regular grandma out for a walk. Okay, so I'm just like, hey, so you said you hit your head and you can't remember where you live. Are you okay? Like, is there any bleeding? Are you injured? Stuff like that, right? And she's just like, oh dearie, can I just come in? I'm just so cold. Can I come inside? I'm like, okay. Well, you can come inside in a second. Stay here. I go inside. I grab a chair. I come back outside and I give her a chair to sit down on. I'm just like, take a seat. Let's talk about this, okay? Let's see what's happening. So you said you hit your head. Are you okay? Stuff like that. And she's just like, oh yes, I'm okay. I'm just cold and I need a place to stay for the night. And can I come inside? And I'm like, the second she said I need a place for the night, I'm just like, that's strange. But also, if you're lost and you have amnesia and like you're a mental patient, maybe you don't know where to go, so you need a place to stay for tonight. And I start asking her questions, be like, okay, well, do you have any kind of family? Do you have any kind of friends that would know you and would want to stay, like would like you to stay with them, stuff like that? Tell me about that kind of stuff. And she was just very vague about people she knows, but she doesn't know where she lives and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, okay. So you've told me that you've had an injury, you've lost your memory, and you don't know your way home. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call 911 because you said you had a medical injury, right? And we're going to get them to help you find your way home. They have resources. They have the ability to like look up addresses and phone numbers and last names and first names. You know your whole name, right? And she's like, yes. And she listed off a massive name. Her name was like fucking 5 names in one, right? And she's like, I know my name specifically. I'm like, okay, that's great. They can look up your name and they can find your address and all that kind of good stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, well, can I come inside then? I'm like, sure, okay, let's go ahead and call the police and the ambulance, and you can come inside to warm up while we wait. Okay, deal? And she's like, okay. So I literally call the police as we're outside, and then while we're outside, I bring her on inside, right? And once I bring her inside and sit her down, I continue talking to police, and I'm like, hey, ambulance, can we get somebody over here? This lady has a head injury. And they're like, sir, do you see any bleeding? I'm like, no. Sir, did you see the injury occur? I'm like, no. Sir, are you sure she has anything? It's any injuries that you need an ambulance for? And I'm like, well, she said she fell, and like, I want to believe her, and she seems to have lost her memories. And they're like, sir, we're just gonna send the police, and they can assess whether her medical injuries warrant an ambulance to ride. I'm like, that sounds like a great idea. Thank you, because I'm not a doctor. I don't know this shit, okay? I am a fluffy boy on the internet. I'm not a medical professional. You tell me you need I need a COVID shot, I'm gonna take that COVID shot. You tell me I need to take some vitamin D or something like that, I'll take the D, okay? I will take that D if you tell me, doctor. Oh, whoa. But anyway, so the dispatcher sends the police, okay? The dispatcher's just like, I get these calls all the time. I need to figure out who we're sending. So they just sent the police. Well, the police, it's not an emergency. She's just a chill old granny in my house, right? So they're putting me at the end of their list, okay? So this old lady is in my house for like an hour, okay? So I'm like, hey, lady, would you like some water? And she's like, yes. I didn't even tell you this part. Because I was working my stuff, when I came to the door, I had a hammer and I was in a bathrobe, okay? So I'm basically naked with a hammer talking to this old, soon-to-be homeless lady, okay? So I'm just like, the police are coming. I am mostly naked with a hammer. I should probably deal with this. So I'm like, okay, old lady, you stay here. I'll be right back. And I go change, I come back instantly, and she's like, oh, are you the same person? Usually you have to go to a con to find chick mostly naked with a hammer. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong at all. So anyway, I come back fully clothed, and she's just like, oh, are you the same person? And I'm just like, that's sus. That sounds fake to me. So I sit down and I start talking to her, and I'm just like making her feel comfortable, but I want to probe her to figure out, okay, is this a threat? Is this like a homeless person that's fucking with me? Or is this actually a dementia patient, okay? So I start talking to her about long-term memories and stuff like that. She grew up on a farm and all this kind of stuff, right? And she can remember everything perfectly, except when I ask her, hey, is there any local relatives? Hey, where are you staying? Like all this kind of stuff, right? And she kept on going on and on and on about, oh, people just want to get rid of me. People just want to kick me out of their house. You'll be happy when I'm gone, right? And I'm like, no. I'm just looking to make sure that you're okay, okay? But like after about a half hour, she got hot, okay? Because she's inside my house. She got hot, and she opens up her jacket, and inside her jacket, she's wearing 5 shirts, okay? All of them with holes and puke, and like, they just look old and ragged and stuff like that. And I'm like, fuck, I invited in a homeless person. I got tricked. Crap. Okay, well now I have to deal with this. And then as she took off her her coat and opened up, she's just like, you have such a nice place and you're just such a nice person. Oh, you're so kind and caring and a loving person. I know that you would do the right thing and take care of me, and you would never do anything. And I'm such a good Christian. I would never steal from you at all. And by the way, we never talked about anything about stealing. She just brought it up. She's like, I would never steal anything or cause you any harm. I'm such a good person. I'm such a good Christian. And I'm like, okay, well, hey, when's the last? And then a thing clicked in my brain. I'm just like, okay, she's a good Christian. Maybe she goes to church. If she goes to a church, they have programs that will take care of these kinds of people. Let's dive into the whole church thing. I'm like, oh, you're such a good Christian, are you? what church do you go to? And she's like, well, I haven't been to church in like years, but like I'm a very good Christian. And like I would never steal or do anything like that. I'm just like, sure. You're literally just telling me everything that you are going to do to me if I let you stay here. You're definitely going to steal from me. You're definitely probably going to cause me harm. And this is not going to go well for me. You're pretending to be this like little old, like defenseless, like elderly, like in trouble lady. And you're going to fuck me some way, shape, or form. I know this. I'm a good Christian, and my sister cried. That is not a good sentence to say. Exactly. If you are a good Christian, you don't have to say you're a good Christian. People who are good Christians just act good. You don't have to say it. If you're saying I'm a good Christian, that 9 times out of 10 means that you're not a good person. So I literally just stayed in the living room and kept entertaining her. Just kept it like keeping up small talk and going on and on. And then all of a sudden, I get at the door. And I'm like, praise the Lord, I am saved, right? I open the door and I'm like, hello, officer. And he's just like, hello. And I'm like, please come in. Jig's like, hallelujah, hallelujah. So I open the door and this officer, we're just gonna call him Officer Michaels, okay? Officer Michaels there. He's like, hello, sir. I heard there was a report of an elderly lady that had lost her memory and I'm here to help her. I'm like, great. She's right there. And he turns around the corner, and the second he turns around the corner, nice little old lady goes from nice to staring daggers at me and the officer. She goes from nice to real mean real quickly. And I'm just like, oh, there's those real colors. There it is. And she's like, who are you? And he's just like, hello, I am Officer Michaels. How are you doing today? And we're just gonna call her Sherry. How are you doing today, Sherry? He just knew her. He already knew her. First name basis, okay? The cop knew her, okay? And she's just like, well, I am doing very good. And this young man is being very nice to me and allowing me to stay in his home. So yeah. And he's just like, okay, Sherry, well, I am here to help you get home. And Sherry looks at me dead in the face. It's just like, oh, you're just trying to get rid of me, aren't you? And I'm like, oh no, Sherry, don't you remember, Sherry, you came here trying to get home, trying to get safe into a place that's warm, stuff like that. Oh, we're just trying to help you get home. Using her words against her, okay? And she looks back at the officer. She's like, so, well, tell me, where's my home then? Huh? Do you know where I live? And he's just like, Sherry, I know where you live. I don't know the address off the top of my head, but we can go ahead and look it up, and you just come with me and we'll get you home. And she's like, well, I want to know where my home is before I go with you. And he's just like, okay, Sherry, well, we can either do this in my car, or you can pull out a piece of your ID that has your address on it, and you'll be able to figure out exactly where your home is. Please, Sherry, pull out your ID. And then you see her face go, fuck. Her face goes full, shit. So she stands up, she pretends to pat herself down looking for her ID. She reaches into her coat, she pulls out some Kleenexes and a dirty trash bag, and she's like, I think my ID's in there, and hands the cop a dirty trash bag, okay? The cop puts on gloves, touches the dirty trash bag for a half a second. It's like, Sherry, there's no ID in here. So just come with me. We're going to go ahead and we're going to find out where your home is. Let's go. And she's just like, well, I guess you got rid of me, didn't you? And I'm just like, Sherry, I'm just trying to help you get home where you belong. I am being such a good Christian right now. I'm trying to help someone in need. And you said you got injured, right? You need help, Sherry. Bye, Sherry. So Sherry gets up. She starts walking over to the officer, and she's just like, okay, well, thank you so much for all things. Can I have a hug before I go? And I am dumb, chat. Because of furry, because of the furry culture, which is so natural to give people hugs when they leave, I hugged this homeless woman. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. That was a oh no mistake, okay? So I go and I give her a hug, right? And then she goes to bite me on the neck. She goes to like chomp me on the goddamn neck, right? But like, I've done martial arts. The second I feel like her hot breath hits my neck and the gate's close, I grab her face and I push her away in rejection. I'm like, no, Sherry, no. Okay? I literally put my hand on her face. I'm like, nope, not happening. Not today, homeless woman. And she's just like, oh, I'm sorry. Can I just have another hug before I go? I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm done. Officer Michaels, take Sherry home. And Officer Michaels like, okay, Sherry, let's go home. Let's go. Stuff like that. And she's like, well, I guess you got rid of me. And she leaves. Hashtag out to Officer Michaels, thank you so much. But like the entire time we were going through this, Officer Michaels looks so fucking done. He looks so fucking done. Like he's done this before. He's done this a dozen times. He knows Sherry is homeless. And he's just like, God damn it, Sherry. I gotta take your ass out of here again. He was just so tired of dealing with her shit. But yeah, that's how a homeless lady invaded my home. Pro tip? Don't hug the homeless lady when you're kicking her out of your house.